This is an awkward question on ratios, and at first glance it seems, like how on earth do we deal with this? Normally when we have ratios, we deal with dividing it into parts, maybe even told that the difference between parts. We normally avoid adding things to ratios because we know it changes. If I've got the ratio 1 to 2 and I add 1 to each to make it 2 to 3, they're no longer equal to one another. So we basically say don't don't do that. But here we are adding something and we're just told how the ratio changes, in fact. So if I have x to y, and if let's just roll with it. If I increase both by 20, so it's going to be x plus 20 to y plus 20, then I'm told what the ratio is. It's 5 to 2. Okay, not easy to know how to deal with that, but let's just go with it. If I reduce the price x by 5 to give me x minus 5 and y minus 5, then I'm told that the ratio becomes 5 to 1. So the question is, how can I deal with this now? And the answer is, let's just take a step back and look at some numbers. So if I got 6 to 4, I could simplify this to 3 to 2. And what have I done? I've divided both through, or everything through by 2, going from left to right. Now if I wanted to work that out, I could realize that, what's the scale factor? Well, it would have been 6 divided by 3. That's how I know that I've divided 3 by 2. Or I could have done 4 divided by 2, and that's also how I know that I've divided by 3 by 2. And actually, I can set these equal to one another. If I do 6 divided by 3 and 4 divided by 2, it gives me the scale factor that I'm timesing or dividing by. And what I can do is I can get rid of the ratio. I can turn it into a fractional equation. And I can actually do exactly the same here. So what am I sort of multiplying through by to get 5 or whatever? Well, I can do x plus 20 to work it out. I can divide it by 5, and that would be kind of the scale factor that I'm actually dividing by in this case to go from here to here. But I could also do the same for y plus 20. What's the scale factor that I divide by to get from y plus 20 to 2? It's going to be this, and they must be the same so I can set them equal. And I've actually created an equation with x and y in. I can do exactly the same for the one below. In a similar way, I can get x minus 5 over 5 is equal to y minus 5 over 1. And suddenly, although this does still not look particularly nice, I've created two simultaneous equations. Okay, just going to delete this to make a bit of room. So I can simplify these. I can multiply through by the lowest common multiple of these. I can multiply through by 10. So it's going to be 10 x plus 20 over 5 equals 10 y plus 20 over 2. And this cancels to leave me 2 here, and this cancels to leave me 5. And I'm going to get 2x plus 40 equals 5y plus 100. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back in our normal form that we see for simultaneous equations. I'm going to minus 5y from both sides. Whoops. And I'm going to minus 40 from both sides. And I've got equation 1 here. Okay, that was for that bit. So now I need to do similar over here. Well, this one's a bit easier actually because I've got a 1 there. I can essentially just multiply through by 5. I'm going to do this in what colour? Let's do it in purple. So it's going to become x minus 5 is equal to 5. That looks like an S, sorry. X minus 5 equals 5 y minus 5. X minus 5 equals 5y minus 25. And I can rearrange this. I can minus 5y from both sides. I can add 5 to both sides. Okay, and I've got a second equation. What I can now do is I can do what I normally do with simultaneous equations, try and look at the coefficients and do I add or do I subtract? Well, because I've got these two as the same, I can actually subtract these equations. So I'm going to subtract the left-hand sides, and that's going to give me x. The minus 5y is going to cancel out because it's a double negative, minus 5y minus minus 5y. And then I've got 60 minus minus 20, x is equal to 80. I can substitute that back into either one. Let's put it back into this one here. So it's going to be 80 minus 5y is equal to minus 20. I can rearrange this to 5y equals 100, and so y is going to equal 20. And we're nearly done. We've asked for the ratio x to y in its lowest terms, so it's going to be 80 to 20. I can divide through by 20 actually, so it's going to become 4 to 1, and that is how you do that question. Quite a lot going on there. Making simultaneous equations, I think the key bit is realizing that you can do this. But hopefully now you've seen it, if you try one of those again, then you'll have better go at it. Hopefully it makes sense. Maybe you're okay with it throughout.